This conference will now be recorded.
It will give you a whole different perspective. We were also the first cruise line back in 2017 to introduce country intensive voyages. So these are voyages solely focused on really one specific country. And in the case of today, we're going to be talking about one of our Spain intensive cruises. But let me continue on. What really makes us unique and different is because our ships are smaller, they are 30,000 tons, and that equates to 700 guests, 408 crew members. So our staff to guest ratio is for every staff member, 1.7 guests, which interprets to really over the top service. But more importantly, because we are smaller, 65% of the places we go to, you would never be able to go there on a mainstream cruise line because they can't fit. So this, as a result, opens up so many incredible destinations around the world. In addition to that, over 45% of the days that we are sailing feature either an overnight stay or a late night stay. And let me go to this slide because this slide really hits home. You can see here, out of all the days we're sailing with our 4 ships, 80% of those days are in port. And again, more port intensity than our competitive set. In addition to that, 45% of all the days we're sailing feature either a late night stay or an overnight stay. And we beat our competitive set by heads and tails. So again, it's our itineraries that really sets Azamara apart. And the most important thing, the other key takeaway I do want to point out is you don't feel rushed. You're not rushed to get back to the ship. You're not rushed to get back to the ship because you have a early dinner. You can enjoy these wonderful destinations at your leisure, and it really allows you to slow down and not feel the pressure. We are an incredible value, and what's included with Azamara are many inclusive amenities. The major inclusions include your gratuities. You don't have to worry about tips. Your food and beverages also include standard hard spirits, a selection of wines by the glass, selection of beer, soft drinks, bottled water, your specialty coffees, your cappuccinos and lattes, all included. And my friends, that is any time the bars are open. It is not just for meals. So you can wake up in the morning and kick your day off with a Bloody Mary if you so choose and enjoy yourself. We also include complimentary self-service laundry. And why I want to call this out is because many of our voyages tend to be longer, and many of our customers also will stay on for back-to-back sailings because the ports don't repeat. As a result, you don't have to pack an additional suitcase and incur the additional baggage fees the airlines charge, and you can do your own laundry on board. And then the other major inclusion is what we call the Amazing Evening event or the cultural evenings. These are more than a short excursion. It is an authentic cultural event at one of the destinations we overnight in, or we have a late night departure. It is exclusive only for the Azamara guests. So this is something that if you are just happen to be in a specific destination, you would not be able to participate or even find this type of event. It's carefully crafted just for us. This is a beautiful example of one of the Amazing evenings, and this photograph in this example takes place in Ephesus. It is a classical concert under the stars in Ephesus, in the Odeon, which is the Roman amphitheater built in the 1st century. Ephesus, by the way, is closed to the public at night. So they come out and they unlock the gates for the Azamara guests in the evening. And this is just because each of our sailings are unique and different. Each sailing will have its own unique Amazing evening event. The other iconic event we do on every one of our cruises is the White Night Party. So if you do end up signing up for this incredible cruise, don't forget to pack a white outfit. And what we do is we remove all the deck furniture, we set up tables and chairs, we dress everything out in white tablecloths, white draping, white balloons. We encourage all of our guests to wear white, and we set up this incredible buffet. Our officers will serve lobster, rack of lamb, crepe Suzette, sushi, you name it. It is absolutely incredible. and it turns into a beautiful deck party with our singers, our dancers, and our band performing, and people dancing under the stars at night. And again, this is not to be missed, and we offer this on every voyage. Let me walk you through some of the interior photographs of the ships. All of our ships are identical. All four ships are exactly the same. When you walk on our ship, you really feel like you're walking into a luxurious boutique hotel. The decor is very light, very contemporary, and very organic. And this is the grand staircase right in the center of the ship. As far as our staterooms are concerned, the majority of our staterooms on these ships, 90% of our rooms are actually outside facing, and approximately 90% of those have balconies. So the most common stateroom category on our ships are the veranda staterooms. They are 175 square feet of interior space and a 40 square foot balcony. Plenty of storage space, plenty of hanging space for two guests, and plenty of drawer space, and very well appointed. Now, if you move up to our suite categories, you're going to get some additional amenities and inclusions. And probably the best perks and benefits are number one, you're going to get your own personal English style butler who will truly spoil you. In addition to that, in my opinion, probably the best benefits for suite guests is complimentary specialty dining. You can eat in specialty dining every night if you so choose at no charge if you're in a suite. Otherwise, it is a $50 per person surcharge. Now, dining in Azamara, number one, is country club casual attire, no formal nights, no dress up. Our main dining room is open seating. You can eat when you want and with whom you want. So again, you're not rushed. We have two specialty dining rooms. We have a steakhouse and an Italian restaurant. Those are reservations only, and you make the reservations when you first board the ship. We do not have the capability of making the reservations in advance. If you're in a suite, they are complimentary. Otherwise, it is a $50 per person surcharge. Now, we do offer packages where basically you will get like um, three specialty dining experiences for a little bit more than the price of two, so you can save some money as well. We also have several casual dining venues as well. We have our buffet windows, which is on deck, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And one thing I do want to just call out in windows is by far the best buffet I've had on any cruise line for dinner. In the past, I always stayed clear for the buffets for dinner on other cruise lines until the first time I actually sailed on Azamara, and I was on personal vacation, and I saw in the Daily Planner Indian themed buffet, and yours truly loves Indian food. So we went up and had and we enjoyed the Indian meal at the buffet that evening. It was as good, if not better, than any Indian restaurant I've eaten here in the States. A couple nights later was Greek themed buffet. Same thing, absolutely incredible. Long story short, it was a 12-night cruise. I ended up eating in windows for dinner 4 times. I've never done that before, Azamara. We also have the patio as well, another casual dining venue that is open for lunch and dinner. It's by the pool area. It is outdoors, however, it is covered. And we set for lunch, it is a grill with an expanded salad bar. But for dinner, we dress it up. We put out the tablecloths. We have an expanded dinner menu, and you have table side service. And of course, we have 24-hour room service as well. So you will never go hungry on Azamara, and the food is absolutely spectacular. One thing I do want to call out as well is for a ship our size, we really have incredible entertainment. We have our own singers and dancers. We have our own production shows. And if we don't have a production show going on, we'll have a guest performer, or we'll have the Amazing Evening or the White Night Party. But the one element I do want to mention to you is you don't have to necessarily be glued to the programming on the ship at night, because quite often we are in port. And if you're like me and we're in port at night, I'm going to be off the ship enjoying the local destinations after dark. So that is one of the very special things about Azamara. I love this itinerary. And I actually did a similar itinerary back in 2022. It is absolutely remarkable. And when you walk away from this itinerary, you're going to have a really great appreciation for not only Portugal, but also for Spain. So this sailing, which is a 10-night departure, leaves in September. And that's going to actually perfect timing because the weather is going to be cooling down from the peak of the summer. It begins in Lisbon and it concludes in Barcelona. And I do encourage everybody to go into Lisbon, at least get there the day before and tour Lisbon. Lisbon is a remarkable city. And if you have enough time, definitely make your way up to Sintra and Cascais and Estoril. Definitely worthwhile. You can definitely spend at least a day or two in that area before you get on the cruise. And where we dock in Lisbon is right in the heart of the Alfama area of Lisbon, which is the old section of the city. Literally, it's right there at the base of the Alfama. And Lisbon is very, very hilly. So be prepared for the hills. You have the hills of San Francisco in Lisbon. So don't be surprised by that. Now, as we walk through this itinerary, what I want to also call out for many people, the highlight of this cruise is when we go to Seville. And as you can see here, we're in Seville for 48 hours. Now, newsflash, Seville is not on the coast. Seville is approximately 60 miles inland up the Guadalquivir River. Because our ship is smaller, we are actually able to sail up the Guadalquivir River. It takes us around 5-6 hours, and we dock right in the heart of Seville. Literally a 5-minute walk from the Plaza de España, which is the building you see here in the slide, and approximately a 15-minute walk from the cathedral and the Santa Cruz neighborhood. You're there 2 full days. So you're able to really take advantage of exploring Seville, not only during the daytime, but after dark. And one thing I would also highly recommend is to consider going to the beautiful historic city of Cordoba, which is another really remarkable city in Andalusia. It is approximately an hour and 45-minute ride away from Seville. But being there 2 days, you still will have plenty of time to, if you so choose, enjoy and take advantage of going to Cordoba as well. Let's walk through a little bit further with this itinerary, but I also want to call out, we're in Cadiz, which is on the Atlantic coast. And for many cruise ships other cruise lines that are going to quote unquote Seville, they're really going to be at Cadiz. And from Cadiz to Seville, it is approximately an hour and 45-minute motor coach ride each way to and from Seville. And this, again, is one of the major benefits of this specific departure. But we are in Cadiz until 10 o'clock at night. We're in Gibraltar till 10 o'clock at night. So in addition to the overnights in Seville, you also have those late night departures as well. Let me share with you a short video of the ship sailing up the Guadalquivir River. Now, that short video was done at night. You can see it was in dusk and then into the evening. When I actually personally experienced that 2 years ago, I woke up in the morning, opened my curtains, and I could see land very close to my stateroom. And immediately I got dressed, went on deck, and everybody was on deck enjoying the ride up the river till we got into the heart of Seville. And it really is quite stunning and remarkable. And you're going under some bridges and you feel like thinking to yourself, how is the ship going to fit under the bridge? But sure enough, we are able to do that. Now, again, we're not a river cruise company, but because our ships are smaller and the draft of the vessel is such, there's some rivers we can touch, and Guadalquivir is one of the rivers that we can navigate on up and enjoy, and our guests really appreciate that. But let's go back to the itinerary. The first port of call is going to be Portimao in Portugal. And Portimao is on the Algarve coast of Portugal, the southern coast. The first time I went to the Algarve, I was 20 years old and fell in love with the Algarve. And most recently, just went back there for the first time since I was 20 in March. And it is absolutely stunning. It's one of my favorite destinations in all of Europe. The natural beauty is absolutely incredible. And I highly recommend that you take advantage of touring the coast and taking a boat ride going along the coastal regions because the coast is really quite stunning and remarkable with these incredible cliffs and incredible rock formations. And you definitely want to experience that. And we do offer shore excursions that will allow you to do that as well. Absolutely enjoy your time in Portimao. The seafood is absolutely, again, also incredible. The shrimps or the prawns are absolutely, they're giant size. I've never seen shrimp that large, but that is to be found in this region of Portugal. And again, I talked about Seville. We dock again 5 minutes from the Plaza de España, 15-minute walk from the cathedral and the center of Seville. And also, you can see here in the middle photograph is the photograph of the Alcázar, which is the old castle. Now, Seville has a very interesting history because Andalusia was controlled by the Moors for several centuries. So you have this Moorish Arabic influence that is really quite stunning, juxtaposed against the Catholics and juxtaposed against the Jewish presence that was in southern Spain for centuries. And the right-hand side is the old neighborhood. It's called the Santa Cruz neighborhood. And this used to be the Jewish section of Seville and is very well preserved. And one of the things that I did personally when I was there 2 years ago, and we overnighted in Seville, I was with a group of people. We actually went off. We had a wonderful dinner in the old section of the Santa Cruz neighborhood at this tapas restaurant, and then booked a authentic flamenco show in this old mansion in their courtyard. Maybe sat 50 people maximum, and it was really just a wonderful, memorable evening. Highly encourage you to take advantage and do something similar. We do offer as shore excursions lots of different tours, including flamenco shows, which is not to be missed because flamenco originated by the gypsies in Andalusia, southern Spain. When we go to Gibraltar, the Rock of Gibraltar, you're actually in the United Kingdom. So all of a sudden, you're going to be going from the European Union and the euro to the British pound. Of course, they take credit cards and they take euros, but it is technically the UK. And English, of course, is spoken here. I highly recommend that you go see the Rock of Gibraltar. Is not to be missed, and also go to the incredible caves, which is also very, very stunning. But we will be hosting our amazing evening on this itinerary in Gibraltar, and it is called Gibraltar, a fusion of music and dance, and it's going to be in the Gibraltar Square, which is in the photograph that I have in this specific slide. It is complimentary for all of our guests on this departure, and it's going to be very special and very, very unique. Also, when you go up to the Rock of Gibraltar, and if you're going to be touring up there and you go into the caves there, just be aware of the monkeys because the monkeys inhabit the rock, and they can be rather aggressive, especially if they see food. So just be forewarned about that. But it is absolutely stunning. I have lots of photographs of the monkeys as well. You can either take tours that will take you up in a small van, or you can take the funicular or the cable car that will take you to the top of the Rock of Gibraltar. Malaga is another incredible destination in the Costa del Sol. Beautiful beaches surround this area. It also is the home of Pablo Picasso and has a wonderful Picasso museum, as well as a very historic cathedral. The one thing that you may also wish to consider is to go to Granada for the day. And we do offer a shore excursion that will take you up to Granada. And I believe it's Granada on your own. So if you're more adventurous, It will take you to Granada, drop you off, and then pick you up several hours later. But you would be able to experience and explore the most stunning site in all of Granada, which is the Alhambra Palace. And this was the last stronghold of the Moors during the reconquest of Spain by the Catholics. And it has an amazing history. So if you are so inclined and are adventurous, I would encourage you to definitely go to Malaga for the day and explore Malaga. We also go to Cartagena, Spain, the original Cartagena, not Cartagena, Colombia. And then we will go to Valencia. And Valencia was really quite a stunning city. It is the juxtaposition of both the old historic with the new, and you have this incredible new architecture as well. And I was actually very impressed with Valencia. I went there for the first time in 2022. So I think you will be very pleased with this specific itinerary. And then lastly, we will conclude in Barcelona. So Melinda, I'm going to give it back to you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Great presentation. That's so exciting. I agree with you that going to Seville up that river is definitely a unique itinerary. And I'm glad that you pointed that out because I think sometimes we think that everything's the same and it's not. And so fantastic. And I think the as amazing evening in Gibraltar sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, so as I said earlier, we were going to highlight that cruise. This is the cruise that Mary, who works with us, Mary is going to be going on September 11th of 2024. You can see it's a 10-night voyage. It includes all the things that Mitch went over just a minute ago, and starting prices at $26.54. That does not include air, but we'll put all that together for your air, your travel insurance, and actually can help you with excursions in every part of your trip. And as I think I would agree with Mitch, we always recommend going in a day early. So going into the Lisbon and staying in Barcelona and doing a couple of nights there, you will not be disappointed with either of those pre or post cities. Again, Mary is going to this on this group, and she's actually of Spanish descent. She's from Cuba, but her family is from Spain, and so she looks forward to going and actually both pre and going to see the town her family is from. So with that, the next, if anyone has any questions, if you just have a minute, we can put it in the chat box. I'll answer any of the questions in the chat box. But finally, I don't see any questions. I'll wait just a minute. But while I'm waiting for those questions, just to remind you, Travel Central is your what we call your ultimate resource. Our goal is to make sure that we keep up with all the current things that are going on in travel, making sure that we know the special deals that Azamar is offering right now. They are offering some incentives to book travel. And so keeping up with those to make sure that our clients get the best value for their travel as well as a dedicated advisor. And with that, I think I don't see any questions. Mitch, I think the last slide, and we're going to say thank you for joining us today. I think Mitch did a fantastic job. If you have more questions or would like to book this cruise, here is the information. We have recorded this today. I will be putting out a email tomorrow to everyone who has registered for the event that will share the recording of this video. Thank you for joining us. Again, Spain looks phenomenal. Like he said, it's a perfect time to go in September. The weather is nicer, and it's a great itinerary. Fantastic. And Mitch, I think that's it. Thank you for everybody for joining us, and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Bye bye.